Hello again from me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK, on Wednesday, the 18th of November 2009. I'm going to talk to you today about giving and getting value for money. I was talking to you the other day about playing fair with your customers and not expecting too big a profit at their expense. Now, we are all human beings, and it's very easy to be tempted by the material forces which money represent into charging an extortionate price. There are many companies who do this. It isn't only a matter of price. There are large groups of companies who have been found to have been putting their heads together to fix the market in what has come to be known as a price-fixing cartel. For all its faults, the EU is very good at tracking down these rogues, and many have been fined millions of euros for this illegal way of trading. Do you ever hear that the directors of those companies have been sacked or sent to jail? Well, in America they would go to jail, and quite rightly too, because what they are doing is stealing from the public, who they treat with such terrible contempt. Maybe there should be a website on which those companies would be named together with a list of the names of the directors involved. A kind of public stocks, where those of us who have been effectively mugged by these people can at least see and feel that justice has been done. If you think about it, what they are doing is equally as bad, if not worse, than going out and mugging people in the street. Highly paid and well-educated men and women, not content with a good profit and hefty salaries, sit down together and conspire to rob us. That's what it means. Why don't such scallywag thieves go to jail then? On the other side of the coin, if you run your business fairly and efficiently, offer fair prices, brilliant service, and a no-nonsense returns policy, with good guarantees that mean what they say, then customers will flock to your door and leave with a nice feeling. I will give you some examples. Whenever I shop at John Lewis, whether online or at their department stores, I come away with a nice feeling. Did you know that all their employees are in fact shareholders? It's a huge partnership, in fact. That may explain why they all sound and feel as though they care about me. Amazon is another customer-friendly company with a brilliantly user-friendly online store, which now sells everything under the sun. Anything you buy there arrives almost next day, or at latest the day after. If you need to return it, you can print off a postage-paid label for the parcel, or you're taken online to a courier company who come and collect it from you. What more could you ask? And exceptional prices too. That is just two, but I could also mention Virgin Trains, whom I regularly use to travel between Manchester and London. They do the return trip in just over 2 hours, and it's a 20-minute service from Manchester. So for me to do the return trip in one day is a breeze. Did you know Virgin Trains are the only UK train company which will allow you to use your senior rail card at any time on any train? I once tried to use National Express East Coast to travel from Leeds to London, but they would not let me use my rail card before 9:30, so they were asking me for some ridiculous price. And doing the round trip in one day would have been a pain. Oddly, they have recently walked away from their franchise. There is an old saying, good riddance, too bad rubbish. On the subject of trains, did you read recently that the first class walk-up and purchase fare from Newquay in Cornwall to the Kyle of Lochoush in Scotland is just over £1,000? £1,000, yes, £1,000. Now, when confronted with this disgraceful abomination, ATOC, the Association of Train Operating Companies, replied that nobody has ever bought one. Do they take us all for morons born yesterday? You can't even travel the entire journey in a first-class seat, because some of the trains don't have first-class carriages. The journey involves 6 changes of trains and takes nearly 24 hours each way. In heaven's name, you can fly around the blasted planet for that much. It makes me ashamed to be British. But if you want to blame anyone, you can blame the Tories, because in a spiteful move, they scrapped British Rail just before they were justifiably routed at the polls, and brought in this crackpot, harebrained scheme of train leasing and train operating companies. The electricity and gas supply companies are another group who treat their customers as second-class citizens. Last year, they jacked up their prices by nearly 50%, pleading that the oil price was the cause, and promising to reduce prices as soon as possible. Well, pigs will fly. They have dropped them a few percent, but there are still thousands of old people afraid to get out of bed, in case they might have to turn on the heating. What a shower. So what it comes down to, actually, is loving your neighbour. Yes, the good old Christian doctrine of loving your neighbour. Is it still legal to admit one is a Christian in this country, I wonder? The way things are going, we Christians will be banished to the Outer Hebrides. The rest of the UK can go on believing that the entire universe is an accident. If they truly and deeply believe that they and their family have arrived here by accident, then they should build a church and worship accident as their creator. After all, they owe everything to it. Some mothers do have them. Thank you, and cheerio for now.